Greetings, vintage Christmas light friends. I'm here to make one final video regarding how to relamp Krystal stars, which are these right here. They were made in the 1920s. And their sister light, the Rosette, right here. I believe some of these were made by Paramount. I'm not sure. Anyway, a lot of people have wanted to know how to do it. I want you to know that I've already done sort of a part 1 video, and I'm going to change the name of it to part 1. But this is the last and final one that will hopefully answer more questions and address more issues. The biggest issue is people are afraid of the may be afraid rather, of the ways that I have shown you how to do this. Relamping. So let me give you an example. All right. I want you to know that the light that I'm currently unscrewing, I left burning for over a week and a half. And that was one of my relamps that I did on video number 1 with cardboard. And so I left this just sit and burn for a solid week at full power. And as you can see, there is no color distortion. There's no burning. There's nothing going on. So again, my belief on this is that using a good sort of heavy grade shirt box cardboard will be just fine. But if people are afraid, the other ones that I did were, wait a minute, where is it? I did was an American Flyer washer, which was something like this. It was an American Flyer washer that you can buy from a train park guy. They're pretty expensive. They're like $1 or something a piece. And I think we all sort of determined that they were a bit expensive to make. Anyway, I did do the washer one. And actually, I took my front off of it so that I could do another light. So, because I'm running out of lights to do. Anyway, I believe this was the washer one. And I went ahead and just burned this without the front on it for the same solid week. This is my washer one that I did with a fiberboard washer. And the fiberboard washer was so thick that I had to actually, you can hopefully see where I sort of shaved it down a little bit. It's hard to see, but I shaved this edging down a little bit so that the clips would crimp over it. Okay, this is the final one. And all my online friends, and you guys know who you are, okay? These videos are a collaborative of everybody's great ideas, and everybody's had wonderful ideas. And what I'm trying to do is gather everyone's ideas together and put them all in one video. If you want your name in a video, then by all means, email me and I'll put your name in the video. I'll put you in the credits. But most people like to remain private with this kind of stuff, so I'm going to leave it that way. Anyway, all right. So the one thing that people brought up was to buy this wonderful stuff, and it's meant for making gaskets for automobiles, like I guess I don't know, to keep your oil in your oil tank or whatever. So I went to Advanced Auto Parts and I bought this stuff. It's really nice. It's sort of like a rubbered cardboard. Here's a strip of it I cut off. Now, everybody says that the people online have said that the 1/16 is the best one because it's thick. As you can see, I got the 1/32. And so that's really no big issue. I don't mind it. You see how much you get. You get 26 inches by 10 inches by 1/32. So who cares? I'll never use all this up in the rest of my lifetime. So anyway, this is the stuff that everybody's been talking about online. And it really does work very well. It's meant for high heat because it's meant to go onto an engine block, or, you know, in between two pieces of an engine and a block or whatever. So anyway, so here it is. I've cut it into strips about 1 by 1. And now I've cut 2 blocks 1 by 1. And I'm telling you, I cut 2 blocks because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own 1/16 by gluing 2 squares together. Because I couldn't find the 16th that everybody online has so easily found. I don't know. I'm always the unlucky in love here. I don't know. So anyway, so there, look, see, I've put the 2 together. They're going to smoosh together quite nicely. Now, this is going to be my final project, and I want to show you it in advance. You're wondering, well, that looks like that has a divot in it. Well, if you remember, the originals did have a domed sort of divot, allowing the light bulb to rest in much better. And I was able to do that with mine. So here, just to let you know, what I did was to do the divot, I took my 2-piece like this, and you can see I already started divoting it. Okay, I took this, and I actually popped it in my toaster oven for just like a minute to a minute and a half on high. I brought it out, and as you can see, my wonderful work cutting board here, isn't it wonderful? It has tons of holes in it. I guess I have to use a hole on the video that you can see. Okay, and look, you could just push and push really hard with your finger, and that divot gets started. But then I took a spoon, while that was still warm, out of the toaster oven, and started pushing down into the divot. And before you know it, I have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful divot that is really impressed in there. There you go. You see it? It's sort of rounded. It's rounded on the back. And if you're not happy with it, you can do it a little more. Now, the problem is that this stuff that we're using is almost like a rubberized cardboard. Which is why I guess it's meant to take the heat so well. So keep in mind that the further you push this, the more fibrous this stuff starts to show itself, and you'll notice that it's going to start ripping eventually. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but it is starting to rip a little line right about here, right there. You know, but who cares? You're going to put a hole in it anyway. Now, one of our other online buddies, okay, so see, this is done. My suggestion is to make up a whole bunch of these if you're going to relamp a lot, and let them dry overnight. Let them get good and firm and hard. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to toss it over here for a while. And here I have one that's been drying all day, and you see it's got a really nice divot in it. Now, the next thing I've learned from you guys online, and you've passed on to me, is the wonder of the stamper or the punch. Okay, so here's the punch. I went and I got a set, and here's the sizes that you're going to need if you want to pull this off. I'm just going to hold this up here for a second. If you want, make a still shot. I stole this directly from one of our online buddies. These are his words, and he told us what he uses, and they work. I have in my hand the 5/16, which is the one he mentions here, for cutting out essentially the light bulb hole. And he says down here later that a 3-inch, you can do a 3/8 hole if you want, but the light bulb will go in too easily. So he leaves that up to you. With the 5/16, you can almost thread it in and just twist the light bulb into it, and it'll pretty much hold its place. I always suggest, no matter what, when you do this, glue the damn light bulb in anyway, okay? Because over time and heating and using that light bulb, eventually it's just going to wobble in there, and it's not going to, it's just not going to hold. So anyway, I hope you got the sizes there. If not, rewind, go back. And so here it is, right here, the punch. It's so easy. And then you sort of center it into the center of your divot as best you can. Now watch my camera. My camera's probably going to fall when I do this. And you give a good whack with a knife, or I mean with a hammer rather. And that should have cut it, but it didn't. Oh my, here, let me do it again. One more time, really strong. And not again. No, didn't do it. But that did it. And out came the hole, and look how perfectly round that is. It's beautiful. It's a little off-center, but you know what I've discovered? It really doesn't matter. Now, again, now we're up to the light bulbs. Go watch part 1, okay? We talk about light bulbs in part 1, so go watch part 1. I'm not going back into light bulbs. As you can see, this just barely fits. But once it gets in there and it starts, it screws right in. So again, I am still going to take and put a little bit of glue. Oops, sorry, I keep moving off the screen here. A little bit of glue on the base of the light bulb right there. Okay, I don't know if you can see what I've done. I've gobbed it all up. You got to understand, I'm trying to do this fast because my upload speed here at the house is horrible. So getting this online is horrible. All right, and then in goes the light bulb into the divot. So it's kind of sunken in nice and deep. Okay, and then the next thing I did, now, all right, the fellow that told us about the punch, okay, he tells you that you can use a 7/8" punch for the Krystal stars and for the rosettes. That would be for the outer hole that you see I have drawn on here. That's how big that would be. It's just short of an inch. Since my set of punches didn't come with a 7/8, I decided to show you the old nickel routine. And I put the nickel in, and I centered it as best I could with the bottom of the divot at the bottom. And then I just went ahead and drew it on with a permanent marker all the way around. And now all I'm going to do is just cut it out, like right up to the line. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, all right? And I'm going to cut, okay, and cut it around as hopefully fast as I can, because I know you're probably already wanting to get to the bar. I know I am. Anyway, that's okay. I've already had one glass of wine. I'll get another one as soon as this is done. Anyway, there we are, and a little snip right there maybe. And I use my really strong cuticle scissors, and that seems to work, okay? And as you can see, I already have a light already shelled out here. And guess what? These slip right in, and you fold down the tabs like that. And guess what, guys? That is ready to go. Let's just see how ready it is. It's pretty strong in there. And look, it just lit right up, and there it is. So now I've shown you how to do it with gasket material. Now everybody can feel safe that they're not going to burn their house down using cardboard. Now I say go get a glass of wine and enjoy, okay? Best of luck, and let us know if you need any help, okay? You can always email us through the video. Bye.